Hello, this is Codord. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to start the form validation process for our user registration form. When we talk about a post request, we talk about post data. So in PHP, we have another super global variable, and that is post. Once again, I want to use this var down function and inspect the content of this post super global variable. Refresh, click on sign up, and this is what is being shown. So we have an array, and it has 4 elements: username, email, password, and password confirm. Those 4 fields of our form from our register.php. So the first thing that we need to do is to make sure that these fields are present, that the data is present, because someone can send an HTTP request to this register.php using something different than a browser. So it can manipulate the HTTP request, or it can simply remove one of the fields from our form. It can simply remove the username field. So we have to make sure that all the fields are present. To do that, we need to use the isSet function. So we need an if statement, and then call this isSet function, and then we want to check if this element is present in our post super global variable. So this isSet function checks if a variable exists, and if that variable is not null. So if this, but we can also use this on an array to check if an element is present. So if this is not, this element is not present, this username field is not there, this function is going to return false, and this is what we want to check. Now we have a problem. Our page is shown only when we talk about a GET request, but in this case we talk about the POST request. The form is submitted. So what we want to do is to send an HTTP response that basically tells the browser to make a redirect to basically reload this register.php. To modify the HTTP response, we have to use this function header, and then we specify which header we want to modify. That is location, and right now we have to pass the new location, in this case register.php. And this is how we do a redirect in PHP. And after this call of this function, we have to call exit to make sure that all the PHP code after this line is not ran. That because when we do a redirect, the PHP execution of the code should stop. Okay, we fixed this problem. By doing a redirect, the browser is reloading the page, this time with a GET request. But what about the form validation errors? The HTTP protocol is stateless. It does not keep track of the data. What we need to use is to use the sessions. So session start after our PHP opening tag, just right after. And then here we can say session. This is another super global variable. It is an array, and we have to add a new element to this session, in this case errors. This new element is going to be an array, and in this new array we want to add an element, and this is actually going to be the validation error. So please fill the username field. Okay, we are done with this. Now back to our register. In our register.view.php, here we want to show those errors from our session. So we have to say PHP if, let's see, right now I want to call this better, let's use the isSet function. So I want to check if this session errors is present. So this is actually known as the PHP template syntax. It makes our life much easier when we work with PHP in HTML. So if this is present, then execute this code between those this if and end if statements. So create a P, and inside this P we want to show the validation error. So echo session errors, and we want to show, let's see, the first element from the errors array, and we are done. Okay, back to our browser. Now we can remove this username field. So right click, left click, inspect. By the way, I'm using Firefox. Then right click on this import field, and then left click on delete node. Now the field is gone, and click on sign up. So the error is showing up. Please fill the username field. Perfect. But if we refresh the page, this message does not go away. That is because the session is still storing this message in that session errors. So what we need to do is to remove this errors element from our session. Let's see, we can do that right here. So we have to say if is set session errors. So if this element is present, let me see, I think we have to do this after we show the content of our page, after this if statement. So if this is present, this element errors is present in our session, then I want to use this function unset. This is how we remove an element from an array, and I want to say session errors. This is how we remove the errors element from our session array. Save, refresh, and now the message is not showing up anymore. Let's do that again. Delete this username field. Perfect. Now sign up. Please fill the username field, refresh, and the message is gone. I think we are done for now. In the next video we have to continue to deal with form validation, because there are quite a few rules that we have to put in place. This is only for checking if the data is present, but we have to check if those fields are not empty, for example, to check the length, to make sure the email is valid, and the password and password confirmation are the same. See you in the next